And this gonna be my part two of stop letting other men endorse the wrong women to you. So you know who this chick is on my screen. April Jones, Omarion's baby mom. So when she first came out, everybody was saying how much of a sweetheart she is. She's quiet and this and this and that. Guys was co-signing her. Mostly they was like, yo, man, I want to get an April Jones. I want to get a chick like Omarion's baby mom. She fine. She not out here like all these other women. So I think yesterday she went on a rant high on drugs or alcohol. I don't know. Allegedly, she might be allegedly on high on drugs or whatever. So she went on a rant about how people will want her sex and blah blah blah, and they want her this, and she named all these rappers who want her pee, and they all want her pee, and this want her pee. Then she tongue kissed a chick and said all this other stuff, and said that she's selling herself. So obviously all that rant that she was in, that rant that she did, because this is normal for women to do overall, is to have a rant, talk about somebody, do all this crazy stuff, and then the next day act like it didn't happen. So she posted a picture of herself on her Instagram, because she probably don't remember what happened, but the whole world reminded her of it. So she really think that she can get away with it, and everybody turned on her. In her comment section, she probably gonna put it limited or turn it off. They was checking her because everybody believed in her. Dudes is in the chat room. I mean, not chat room. They was on the comment section believing in her, but women was basically believing her always. The black women believing in her because the black women saw themselves in her, being a single mom who was gonna find her way out of her situation and get a better opportunity for herself after she been with the guy. So it measured up with what a lot of these women are in the position they're in. So when she did all this, and it kept piling up, when she's sleeping with her boyfriend's her ex-boyfriend's friend and so-called bandmate, right? They are getting mad. They're mad, and they're trying to seem like they're different, but they're mad because she messed up their ability to have hope in her. She was their beacon of hope. But let me get off that. The men who endorsed this chick show that they have no judge of characters, and the so-called red pill guys and all these people who said they know game, they didn't know that she was playing that game the whole time. And that's the reason why, that's probably the reason why Omarion didn't marry her, because he knew who she really was, and he didn't want her to be a permanent part of his life, because if it didn't work out, he would lose everything he had. He didn't put all his marbles in her basket. He had kids with her because she probably had, like she said on her live on Instagram, she has good pee. So she tied him down with just good pee and her looks. But he didn't take her seriously, and he probably wanted to get rid of her. And when she had the first kid, he didn't have nowhere to go. He was trying to do the right thing. Second kid around, he said, okay, I gotta make my exit plan, and I just take care of my kids from afar, or try to take my kids. So the second female, Ayesha Curry, few years back, she was the standard of what women should be doing, what women should be like, and what women and blah 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 blah. And all the men was sitting there saying, "I want an Ayesha Curry" and all this other stuff, acting just like women. Oh my God, she's such a good woman, and she doesn't dress the way she does, and this and that. 6 years later, or 6 or 7 years later, she goes on national TV while her husband is in the most important game of his career, or whatever, of the season, and says she want affection, and she's angry. No, she's jealous of her man getting attention, and she wants the same attention. Despite the fact that this man gave her millions of dollars, gave her kids, and she never had to work a day in her life, but she wants other men's attention. And people, the women on the other side, was showing their hypocrite their hypocritical, mindset, because if a man came out and said that, he will be ostracized and picked on and bullied and said, "You got a wife, she's beautiful. Why are you not looking at the moon?" But they agree with her because they feel the same way. Like I said, with April Jones, these women project themselves onto these people who are on TV. They want to see that their lives will end up like the person they looking at, or if the person in the same situation as them, they want to be able to relate to that person because they see themselves in that person. And the guys who co-signed what she said, they're weak men, right? They they was like, "Oh no, she's a good woman. She just had a little mishap." No, you don't go on national TV and say these kind of things about your husband, and then keep putting your husband on social media. And it's at one point where she said that she was going to give him some, and he looked like he was just disinterested in her. And she's like, "Oh, he mad at me." Then you see her dressing up in revealing clothes. Second girl, who everybody said was so different and this and that. So, where are all the so-called good women at again? Because this is the second chick that y'all endorsed and flopped. The third chick, who every man says that these the type of girls who don't go out with gangsters and this and that and all this other stuff. They don't become single moms and all this other stuff. Angela Simmons. The guys get thirsty over her. They create a whole ocean on how thirsty they are based off this chick. To me, I seen better. But the fact is, they love her. And before she lost her virginity at 28, or I don't forgot what age she was, everybody said how good of a woman she was. Or, yeah, Angela, yeah, she Reverend Run daughter and blah 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 and this and that, and nobody can be like her. Women need to be more like her and this and that. There's hope that women out here liked her and blah blah blah. This chick, who was raised in a good family, who didn't want for nothing, and who could have chose a lawyer or a doctor or any kind of good entertainer, decides to go do the route that all the other women do, and go to a thug, a guy who robbed and who was in jail. She made this man her baby father. So everybody looked at her and said she was a liar, she was this and that. But the fact is, This shows you overall, stop letting other men endorse the wrong women to you. This is what happens. Every single time these guys say a female is nice and whatever, this and that, it's a YouTuber on here right now who they say is all good, and I'm not gonna say her name. I'm too small to have beef with her because she got a lot of people on there. But she talk about financing and everything, but she's fat, right? Everybody's co-sign her being good. Same thing with Nicole Michelle. Everybody says she's so much of a good female and she's different than that. Kendra D, they get with her and say, oh yeah, she's a good female and blah blah blah. And all of them got something wrong with them. All of them. People see what they saying. People don't believe what they saying. So this is it with stop letting other men endorse the wrong women to you part 2.